And let's go.
Say something. Don't screw up.
But yeah, I hope everyone is having a good evening or morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Had a decent day myself. Did some GeoGuessr this morning. Managed to get the gold in South Africa. Only got silver in Switzerland. I got kind of screwed over. But, yeah. I should be back to that on Friday, though, because I'll be busy Thursday. And tomorrow morning I'm going to do an Ocarina of Time randomizer. How's it, Cowboy Knuckles?
Yeah!
Yeah, the team has been great. I've enjoyed getting to know everyone. As I've said a couple times, as people have, like, asked me, I'm pretty much most familiar with Krillin and Aerodynamic. They're, well, even more so Krillin, because he's the person I've, like, hung out in his streams and the Discord the most. But, yeah, I've been getting to know some of the other people. I think for the most part, I kind of, like, know people and what games they play. I've tried to, like, follow people while they're live, so I can kind of, like, see their content and, like, chat with them for a little bit. I can say I've seen more support from them than I did in, like, the half a year that I was part of Noble, that esports team from, like, a year ago.
Dad, what's...
Please tell me this is...
And there are definitely people that also want to do, like, co-op streams. I think we're actually planning either Friday or Saturday. I think the team, Inglorious Misfits, we're planning to try to do an Among Us stream. I think it'll be, like, organized over on Krillin's channel. If we do end up doing that, I will, of course, tweet it and link it so that everyone in my Discord can, like, see me hanging out over there.
Get over here.
I also did toss out an idea for a big thing that it looks like there's some interest in it. I hope some other people express interest in it as well. But basically, the whole idea behind it is that a Twitch team that I watch, which is Next Level, and they haven't really done much as a team. Like they have kind of all gotten like busy with other things, but they would do a thing where once per season, they basically had a marathon for a weekend. And the way it worked was that only one of them would be live, and then they would like just have one person live doing stuff on their stream. Either like something all together with people, like for example, they would play Mario Party, or they would do like Mario Kart with friends, or Jackbox, for example. And also like do things on their own. Like a couple of them were speedrunners, so they might have like a little block where they did a speedrun. And I basically just like made the team like aware and like how it was a cool idea that I thought. Just sort of to see if we could like do something with that, and they seem to really enjoy it. Like the couple people have said stuff. Speaking of,
They just keep coming and coming,
hello,
and we don't even know
Soma.
what they are. We don't know anything.
Thank you very much for that raid. I appreciate that. Soma is one of the people who is on the stream team that I am talking about.
Hooray for Connie!
If you can't beat him,
Hey, how was your stream, Soma? Hope you're having a good one. Hi everyone, I'm Varlden, and if you've never seen a speedrun before, you're in for a treat. Because you are watching the world record holder attempt to push down the world record even more. So this is Steven Universe Save the Lights. It is based off of the TV series Steven Universe. And there's a couple of mobile games, and this is the one game that's sort of... It is on all current gen consoles and also on Steam. And I'm trying to get a PB of like at least a minute, so it's like about a sub 1 hour and 30 minutes. Oh, I'm doing great today, Soma. Earlier today, I was playing GeoGuessr. I got the gold in South Africa. I unfortunately did not get the one for Switzerland, which was the other one I tried to do today. And yeah, that is correct, Captain Corgi. I am indeed one of the new members on Inglorious Misfits, along with Soma. Trustor in chat is also on the team. I would ask a mod to give a shout out to the two of them, but I don't think any are around right now. But yeah, go follow Soma and Trustor and Aerodynamic. I saw you host me. Thank you for that. Hope you're doing well. I want to say that anyone can speedrun. I feel like when people think of speedrunning, they imagine playing like Celeste or Super Mario 64, something that just has like lots of crazy movement and lots of concentration and everything. And of course, some games are like that, of course, but some games like Saved Life, for example, there is a decent amount of downtime. Thank you for the follows, by the way, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, Soma is great. She streams and doesn't afraid of anything. Yeah, how y'all doing? Hope everyone's having a good evening. Or morning, afternoon, whatever it might be in your particular time zone. Overestimate your skills, huh? Well, as long as I don't underestimate your power. Because I have to tell you that I have the high ground. Alright, so let's see, what are we doing here? So basically...
Hey, Telethon! Are donations bigger than a bread box?
Arrow, thank you very much for the 100 bits. So what we're doing here, we're in Beach City right now. And we have to get Connie and Steven's relationship bar filled all the way up. That way they can do a team attack, which is what we do against the first boss of the game. So essentially, I'm doing these fights in such a way that I'm trying to get things like perfect hits there. Sometimes you'll get a kudos. If you defeat an enemy that's going towards one of the characters, that will increase their relationship bar. So like, see, like right here, this one is going for Connie. But if we have Steven come in with that killing blow, like so, in the top right, you'll see that bar go up a teensy little bit. And so I need that to be filled up by the time we do the second fight in Beach City Woods. Which probably doesn't mean much, but it will mean something momentarily. That is indeed Ed, Ed, and Eddie. That is my regular alert for anything that happens.
I feel so upgraded.
And one of my emotes is also Eddie from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Loved the show as a kid.
Guys, check this out.
So this game is also like a bit of an RPG. So there are levels, there are items. We can do first strikes like so. And if you do the first attack, you get 1 extra star when you start a fight, which is what we use to do fights and like do moves and everything. And so basically, everything that I'm doing is like what is more or less the most optimal way to do these fights, both for speed and for ensuring those two characters get their relationship bar filled up. Oh yeah, Ed was in mood. One of my friends actually speedruns it. The Misadventures, I believe it's called. You love my overlay? Thank you. It actually is based off of Steven Universe. It probably is kind of obvious since I'm playing the game right now. May not be as obvious when I'm doing other things, but yeah. Huge Steven Universe fan. I got a Pearl plush behind me. I have various little things around my desk that I can't really show right now. kind of had to wait for a little bit of downtime before I can, like, do things with my hands. Oh, it's one of my favorite shows. I highly recommend it. Even though it's a children's show, it's just, like, amazing from start to finish. I could talk about it all day. Except when I'm eating, because I don't like to talk when I eat. Other than that, definitely. Oh yeah, no, I feel that. I will be like, okay, I want to watch something, and then maybe 5 years later I'll get to it. Horrible at it. Like I think it's been about I think it's actually been about 10 years since I wanted to watch 6 Feet Under, and I just like have not gotten around to it. So after we do 3 fights in Beach City, it's going to drop that key, which is the next step of the game. And we're going to bring that key back around to Mayor Dewey. We basically route it so that the quickest fights are also very convenient because they basically bring you right around to Mayor Dewey. You just kind of go into sort of like a U shape, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is introducing the concept of badges there in this game. I feel like this game has a pretty decent amount of influence from the Paper Mario games. Well, that badge is kind of irrelevant. We basically just put it on because it's faster to leave it on than take it off again. Oh, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was actually the first show that I watched from start to finish, like as it was airing on television. Like everything else, I never got around to until it was finished. So it kind of has like that, like, you know, first time sort of placeholder for it. I'm also right here, I'm opening up that menu and holding up and pressing the X button. And I'm actually going to be rolling with Steven during that cutscene because we use the out of combat ability during that time. It's a trick and not a glitch, so we can do that in Glitchless. Which, by the way, is what I'm running. As you can see in the splits, this is the Glitchless category. And there are 5 main categories of this game.
Let's do this.
Oh, the side quest mentality. Yeah, I guess if getting distracted constantly is the side quest mentality, that is what I have. And I think Steven and Connie need one more, so... yeah, we might have to fill them up in the woods in a moment. Hey, Y27. Yeah, so see, for example, I'm attacking this one as it's going to attack, because it should be going for Connie and Garnet. The 2 of them we need to get synchronized for the second boss in the next area after this one coming up. Oh, interesting. See, for me, it took me like 3 episodes to get into Breaking Bad. I will say one thing that's great about Breaking Bad is I think it hooks you in, like, immediately.
Yes.
Like, some shows, I feel like for some shows, you recommend it to someone and you're like, alright, listen, you gotta give it to, like, episode 6. Breaking Bad, I feel like if you don't get into Breaking Bad within, like, 2 or 3 episodes, you may not like it. It kind of does just kind of, like, throw you right into it. Which I super appreciate. I feel like Game of Thrones kind of does a similar thing. I mean, in the first season, spoiler alerts. I'll give you a second to like mute me if you need to, but yeah, spoiler alerts. Like the very first episode of Game of Thrones, you get to see basically a person of royalty throw another person of royalty out a like 5-story window and break his legs, and that's how the episode ends. So it's like, okay, I want to see where this is going. Oh, I did the same. I actually saw Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time this year, and I somehow managed to avoid being spoiled. Like this entire, like all my life, I somehow never got spoiled for anything, and that was super fun. I really like watching that. The first death, I mean, it begins in King's Landing because John Aaron dies, but I don't really know if I would say that should count because it's not like on screen, you know. But yeah, there is a beheading. Because what's it called? The Night's Watch guy. The Night's Watch guy comes from beyond the wall and is running away. And he's found by some people from the Starks of Winterfell, and Ned Stark beheads him, like in front of his kids and stuff. Yeah, that beheading. Yeah, the beheading is definitely like within the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, actually beyond that, because the very beginning, I think, is all 3 of the Rangers, and 2 of them die, and it's the one that gets away. So I think those 2 die, and then the title screen plays, and then it goes to the beheading. So there's like 3 deaths within like 5 minutes. Plus you see like, basically zombies, so... I feel like that definitely gets people hooked. Of course, it does help that it's based off a book. So, you know, they have a pretty good source material to go by.
Secrets.
Also, if you're wondering how I'm doing such a good job of talking to all of you while also speedrunning, I have run games in probably about 12 or so marathons at this point, so I am very much used to having to do this. Snape kills Dumbledore? Dude, what are you going to tell me next? Titanic sinks or something? You can't just start saying spoilers. God. Yeah, so Soma, so I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra.
I've got just the thing.
I do think I preferred Avatar to Korra, but Korra was still pretty good. Darth Vader is Luke's father. Yeah, I think all the people from the Netherlands knew that. Because Vader means father in Dutch. It's kind of funny. Are you 10 episodes into Avatar? Very nice. Alright, cool. So we have Garnet and Connie are synchronized. I think we still need to do a little bit with Steven and Connie, however. So I think this should do it. Oh yeah, they're still down a little bit. This may go ahead and get them where we need them to be. Oh, still no. Okay, this for sure will do it. Oh, you dated Dutch girl. Alright, so you knew that. Okay, now we can just go ahead and murder everyone. And fun fact, we actually get to skip this fight in other categories because there is a glitch you can do to basically get through this area a little bit quicker. Of course, in the Glitchless category, we can't do that.
Steven, check out your old man.
You never read or watched Harry Potter? I've seen all the movies. I read the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows. Yeah, I was like never big on Harry Potter. I mean, I liked the movies, but I was never, like, obsessed with it, you know? Like, I never gave a shit what my Harry Potter house was.
Yep.
But I know, like, a lot of people were really into Harry Potter.
Wow.
I've been meaning to get into Steins Gate, actually.
Got just the thing.
The most recent thing I did was get all caught up on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, like, I was watching JoJo's, and I took a break to watch Avatar and Korra, and then I went back to JoJo. So I'm all caught up in that. I haven't read the manga yet, but I have seen everything they put out so far. Hermione made Teenage You happy. No, I don't know. There is Hagrid.
Open sesame?
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, Hagrid's probably packing a little something down there. Or probably not little, I shouldn't say little. Movie night. Doesn't Krillin do movie nights? I feel like Krillin does movie nights, or I might be thinking of someone else. Also, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. Seen Spider-Man Far From Home, tried to see in the Netherlands, and lyrics, he's hyper-ass, soccer... Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so, pretty much for the most part, this first part of the run, when I was in Beach City and also the woods, take a lot of focus, but this, not so much. I can kind of read chat a little bit better. Oh, that is pretty cute. Also, Slowpoke, thank you very much for that host. Were you streaming? What were you streaming? How was it? Oh yeah, Soma, I totally missed it. Did you ever say what you were streaming? Because if you did, I completely missed it. I was hanging out with other people today, I'm sorry. I was hanging out with Benny, is that his name? I feel bad that I don't remember his name at heart. Bingy, I think? He was playing some Binding of Isaac. I was watching his stream for a little bit. I've been mostly trying to like follow people while they're live so we can kind of like chat for a little bit. Like Truster, for example. Obviously, like I have no idea where people live and everything, but Truster is Swedish. Which is pretty cool, because I'm like, I guess like, a little bit unique that I sort of had like, what I call a Sweeaboo phase. Like how most people have like a little phase where they're obsessed with Japan. That was kind of like me, but with Sweden. And I actually got to like go there for a month way back in 2014. Which was pretty fun. Had a really good time. Fall Guys, hell yeah. I played Fall Guys a little bit at a friend's house, and I sucked. I mean, I would probably get better the more I play it, but yeah. I like got disqualified like the first round like 3 times in a row. Binzy, yeah, that's it. I think there's still a couple other people I haven't hung out with. Like, Celerity, and I think maybe there's only, like, 3 more people now that I haven't, like, informally introduced myself to.
I'm so proud of us.
Pronounce it.
Best friend, saving the light.
Oh, that's cool. I actually talk about that sometimes with GeoGuessr, like talk about languages and stuff.
It's a night.
I know Trustor could back me up on this. In Swedish they have a word, lagum, and it basically means like just right. So it's sort of like Goldilocks. Like think of Goldilocks, like not too hot, not too cold, just right. And like there's not really an exact translation for that word in English, which I think is super cool, because like I always wonder in other languages what kind of words exist where like I just say a word and it describes something perfectly, right? But then in English you have to like basically say the definition of what you're talking about because a particular word for it doesn't exist. Like that concept is just so cool to me.
Let's do it to it.
Languages are pretty cool. Then you have stuff like Japanese, where just like a character can like communicate so much more than like, you know, like one singular English character does. Also for this boss, so the team attack we have is Steven and Connie fuse into Stevani, giving them some new attacks as they're fused, one of them being a Sword Storm attack, basically. And we put an attack band onto them, and then we do this attack, and then we should be taking it down in 3 cycles. Interestingly, it's not a mashing thing you're doing right here, it's more like a rhythm thing. Like, if you just mash it, you wouldn't get as many attacks off.
Oh man.
Yep, there we go, see? No other translation in any language. And I want to say, because I do have a degree in English literature, there's like a word, and it's currently archaic, so people like don't use it in everyday language, and I keep forgetting the word for it. I want to say something like sericlum, something like that, and I believe it's a word that describes the way the sun looks during a sunrise. So, you know, just like picture it in your head. It's like a word that like I just say that word and like it describes like a very specific thing. But like we stopped using that word and there's not really a word that replaced it. So I think you like typically saw it more in like older writings and poetry and stuff. But yeah, I did want to like move to Sweden a long time ago, but all that plan didn't really work out, unfortunately. So I also kind of like stopped learning Swedish, but I still remember like a very little bit. If I were to ever to like learn a language though, I would probably do Spanish, because of all the languages you can learn, I imagine living in the United States, it would like be the most beneficial. Yeah, no problem. I find history interesting. I took like a couple of electives in university because I was sort of interested in history. Oh, there's some things like I don't know. Like if you start asking me like the, I don't know, history of Indonesia, I will be completely lost. But like the Americas, which is including South and North America, and Europe, I kind of know some stuff about. Oh yeah, learning languages can definitely be difficult. It does depend too. Like if you're, for example, like an English speaker and you're learning a Romance language, you know, that'd be easier than diving into like Mandarin, for example, because there won't really be any overlays to help you.
Ready when you guys are.
Like Swedish, I found pretty easy. Like I did reach a point where I felt like I more or less got the sentence structure down. So it was basically more just trying to expand my vocabulary. And like various things, just like,
Let's go.
you know, okay, here's an example. Like dog is hund. So it's basically like hound in English. But like, you know, it means dog. Then like cat is like, you know, kat or cat. Like you're basically saying cat, but sort of like with a Swedish accent. But you know, like if you start learning Mandarin or Japanese or something, it's just like completely different. But yeah, I learned like more learning Swedish on my own than I did like taking Spanish in high school when like it was forced on me. Just because I didn't care, because it was like, yeah, they're making me learn language, you know, whatever. But when you actually want to learn a new language, you have like a lot more motivation and interest in everything. Which of course makes sense for anything, right? Like if someone forces you to like learn a new hobby versus you actually like want to learn it on your own, you're going to be a lot more motivated. A 4/7 tyrant. Oof. Short and evil. I think I considered taking French, but I went with Spanish just because I figured it would be easier. Also, if anyone ever has any questions about the run, you know, feel free to ask them. I do have the world record in 4 of the 5 main categories, and all the miscellaneous ones, except Connie-less, which is a category where you don't use this character, Connie, because she's overpowered. As you can see, she was a little bit overpowered in that first boss fight, but we're going to one-shot the next boss of the game, who is Squaredot, if you look on the splits. We'll begin to her in about, like 8 minutes, I think, I want to say. Grabbing this level up charm here. Level up charms are fairly self-explanatory. You use it on a character and they instantly level up.
We're just getting started.
Definitely most useful to use those right after a character levels
Here
up.
we are.
Because it doesn't give them experience, it just puts them to the next level. So if a character is just about to level up, you're essentially just wasting the level up charm. But we do utilize the level up charms as well as the Light Stevens. I think you saw me grab one as Connie. But those give a character experience that are like one character basically gets experience equivalent to doing one fight at their current level. So it does scale up, like they don't just give the same amount of experience per time. So we basically use those and level up charms in order to like not have to do additional fights that we don't have to do. Basically, aside from the bosses, the only time we do fights is because we're required to. And all bosses does even less than Glitchless because we can use some glitches to get past enemies. Like going out of bounds, for example. And I also did mention running the marathons. I actually have 3 as of now that I have submitted this to, and one of them I'm going to find out on the 18th. That is when the game schedule gets released. So, you know, feel free to cross those fingers for me. I love you too. Anyone who Soma supports is someone that I can support.
Yeah, I'm over it.
And that's what we call trust. Marathon? Okay, so like, the context of a speedrunning marathon is a whole bunch of speedrunners will all stream to like one particular channel, and they're like all different speedruns. So games you've probably heard of, like Super Mario Sunshine, SM64, Legend of Zelda, probably a lot of games you haven't heard of. And it goes on for like, could be like a day, could be like an entire week. Like Games Done Quick has marathons twice per year. So I would be like one runner among like, you know, 80-something people. Alright, so here we are in Too Cold Cave. I'm trying to get past these enemies and not engage them in a fight. So that first wizard enemy, kind of a pain. This guy, pretty easy. Just jump over him to aggro him twice. And the snowball and the wizard down there are pretty annoying to get by. That is why I have a 25-second time save in this area. Just because, yeah, pretty much a big pain to get rid of them and get past them. But we'll be trying to do our best here. Yeah, so that's Snowball not really cooperating. Oh, here we go. That's actually not too bad. More or less going to be keeping pace with my PB here.
Have left the building.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, that is a marathon, too. But yeah, like, I'm talking, like, if I say marathon, like, 95% of the time, I'm talking about speedrunning marathons. So yeah, if I were to get in, I would just have, like, one little slot during that marathon, and I would be doing a run, and I would be just, like, giving commentary the entire time. Which is, like, what I'm sort of doing right now, but it would be, like, a little more intense. I also probably wouldn't really, like, be bullshitting with everyone. Shooting the shit, as we say. Oh, I still do, because I'm pretty awesome like that. Yeah, so before we fight these snowballs, we level up Connie. Connie's super OP. Get that first strike, and we're going to put that fire salt I grabbed in the previous area, or a couple previous areas ago. So this puts a burn debuff on these characters, and we're also going to attack this snowball. For a reason, the game reads these two enemies as being next to each other. So if I attack the one that's closest to Connie, it's actually going to also hit the one at the bottom. Because one of Connie's abilities is that since her sword is so large, if she hits enemies that are nearby, like enemies nearby can get like a sort of like a backlash attack. And since the game reads the two of them as being close, that means we could hit both of them.
Ooh, I know. Maybe this?
Like so. And they're both going to die at the same time. And defeating these enemies, we get to grab this key. And in all bosses, there's actually a way to clip into this little alcove here. So we get to skip doing that fight. And in all bosses, that actually saves us around 2 minutes. But this is glitchless, so we're not allowed to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of jumping around here. Got some little hitboxes on this cliff. I'm going to roll down here to open up the chest. And also, every character has a different speed when I run around in the overworld. And Connie happens to also be the fastest in the party right now. So for the most part, I'm just controlling Connie unless I need another character for some reason. And basically that reason is going to be their out-of-combat ability. Connie also happens to have the same speed as Pearl. However, Peridot is the fastest person that can ever join your party, so once she joins us, we'll be controlling her instead of Connie. The game also does have a decent bit of downtime here and there, which especially for marathons is nice because a lot of time, like speedrunning marathons, like people will be like donating because there's some sort of charity event going on. Like the GDQs, which are like the two big speedrunning marathons. One of them does it for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and the other one is for Doctors Without Borders. And so like a runner could be like, you know, okay, you have time to read like 2 donations.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Or, you know, they'll toss it over for announcements. Yep, speedrun. Like I said before, if you see splits down here, that's speedrun. It's always how you know. So this first boss, the second boss here is Squaridot. This is basically an RNG coin flip. She has 2 attacks. So one attack will be saving time, because my PB got the bad RNG. The other one would be keeping pace. But basically, the good RNG, we've been playing some tennis with her. And if you've ever seen Legend of Zelda, It's basically like that. Batting around a big ol' energy ball. So we'll be hoping we get that. First thing we do is we have Connie's study, however. We're gonna go up to Garnet. She's gonna put her defense debuff onto the enemy. And square it out, good RNG. And she gives us the bad RNG. And that's how speedrunning it is. Sometimes you'll just lose about half a minute because the game says no. But it's fun. When I first started streaming, I speedran Minigame Island from the first Mario Party, and also Tigger's Honey Hunt. And I've done like a game or two here. This is the one I've stuck the longest with, though. I've been running this since the beginning of January 2019. Now she's going to insult us and come out of her little pod. She is very rude.
Maybe this?
And this is why Connie is super overpowered. Because this part of the attack right here... Yeah, so every single time you see a number right there, all of those attacks are based off of Connie's current attack power. So if you increase it via leveling up, an attack item like we used just now, her study ability, which can stack, by the way, that ability can stack, important to remember, all of those things will make that attack do more damage. And basically by exploiting that, that's how we're able to defeat lots of bosses, and also, in this category, one enemy by using that.
Nope.
Alright.
And there are also thoughtful gifts. I did grab one of them in the previous area, Frigid Bridge. And basically that allows you to help sync up two characters outside of combat. So from being completely out of that, which for example, Connie and Garnet right now, they have none, you need 3 thoughtful gifts to go from empty to full. And so in the speedrun, we basically route in thoughtful gifts throughout the world in order to make sure that we always have enough that we need. And now we're at the barn. A little bit of downtime here. We are indeed saving time.
Right. What unbelievable.
Saving time whilst we save the lights.
Open your butt. That's Pebble. Oh, you're
Also, I think Y27, you did
wow.
I believe you did the 1500 command earlier. But yeah, when I reach 1500 followers, another thing that I do is I do randomizers. I know Wind Waker randomizer, and I know the Ocarina of Time randomizer. Normally with Ocarina of Time, the only, like, crazy thing that I do is I turn on shop sanity, which means that your shops have the potential to have progression items on them.
Yay!
And at 1500 followers, which is about 90 away now, I believe, I'm going to be doing a randomizer seed that is Key Sanity and Scrub Sanity. So Scrub Sanity turns on a lot of the Deku Scrubs around in the overworld and in dungeons into progression locations. And Key Sanity means that all of your dungeon keys also get thrown out of the dungeons and scattered all throughout the overworld, and in other dungeons too. So it should be a bit of a painful seed, which means lots of fun to watch me suffer. But it'll be a fun time. So yeah, about like 90 followers away from that. And randomizer is what I do in the morning. As of now, I usually will sometimes do a morning stream, and tentatively I may do an evening stream. And typically in the mornings, I alternate between GeoGuessr and doing a randomizer. So this morning, for example, I played GeoGuessr. And the morning before that, I did a randomizer seed. So tomorrow morning, actually, I'm going to be doing another Ocarina of Time randomizer. Then in evenings, I like speedrun this, or I might play Among Us. I might do like a Mario Party CPU match.
Give me all the loot. Give it to me.
Russia GeoGuessr, yeah. No. The meme is that GeoGuessr in Russia is a pain in the ass to play. Because it's like, cool, you're in Russia. It's the biggest country. Don't know where the hell I am. Getting the gold on that one is going to be a pain.
Looks like another
There
win.
must be some kind of glitch in the holographic image.
Time to quest with the best.
So that is a gold split, for anyone not familiar with a speedrun. That means that that segment that I just did is the fastest that I have ever done it. And that should be a legitimate gold. It's because we have a slight reroute because I found a new way to move in that area. Basically, when I moved that metal block and jumped onto the sword, that's a relatively new thing, and I haven't got that yet in a run. So, yeah. That's Soma good luck. Russia's half of Asia, yeah. That is true. So normally you would have to move that block and risk getting hit by that cannon the entire time, but there happens to be a little rock there that Steven can double jump off of, and you use that to get up to the top there. Steven's little double jump thing that he does is pretty useful. There's a lot of tricks and glitches that utilize it. None that I'll be able to show off, but trust me, they do exist. All bosses is actually my favorite category of this to run, and it's the one I've mostly run in marathons. One time I've run Glitchless, that was the most recent marathon, this category. Other than that, every other time I've run this, it's been all bosses. I think it's also the most interesting one, personally. Because you get to see a lot more than you do in any percent.
Glitch in the holographic image.
Heck, 2 in a row. Damn, the Soma raid bringing that good luck.
You guys know where you're going, right? I know. Item, I choose you. How about... Item, I choose you. I've got just the thing. Item, I choose you.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna do my best. Oh, my training paid off.
Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Also, yeah, in this area, the only fight we ever do is actually the boss. So I do like this area. I like the music in it, and you're basically just kind of running around and doing stuff primarily with Peridot. The previous area is probably the most interesting because of those 2 tricks to grab the tungstens like you saw me do. Also, the block that I moved, that sword has like a little bit of collision so you can jump on top of it. Otherwise, you'd have to waste more time getting more blocks in that area in order to get across that gap. So I did not switch back to Peridot immediately, because the way that cannon works, whenever it shoots the cannonball, whichever character you're currently controlling is the one that will retain the hitbox for it. So even if I were to switch back to Peridot and be controlling her, Garnet would still have the hitbox for it. And if you get hit there, you're close enough to it that you get into a fight. I learned that the hard way. And it sucks having to lose a run to that.
We're definitely doing pizzas after all this.
Alright, so here's Mace. The RNG is on our side.
You guys know where
For this
you're
particular
going,
boss, I
right?
want its weak point to be in either the head or the arm. so let's hope. We got bad square dots, so it would be nice to get good mace. And we got arm, head, arm, stomach. Hey, look at that. We got the good RNG. On a somewhat decent run, too.
Fascinating. I've got just the thing. One thingy coming right up.
Ready?
It was the stomach, right? If it's not the stomach, I just bamboozled myself. Oh, it was the stomach. I have done that before, too. I have accidentally forgotten which one it was. Yeah, we're about to be in the green because my run had a bad mace. And look at that. Just like that, we're almost a minute ahead. Now that's what I call time save.
Leveling up is just the best.
You know, if this ends up being the new world record run, you're all going to be on YouTube. So whatever you do, do not say pee-pee poo-poo. Because I would absolutely hate it if my Twitch chat over there said pee-pee poo-poo on YouTube.
Can you believe we're here?
It would be even worse if you, like, cheered, like, 5 bits along with it, too. Like, that would just... Worst thing ever, don't do it. Bum, 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 bum. Really dig the music in this part, but except in 101%, we basically run here, do this really quick cutscene with Hessonite, and then we dip on out. So yeah, story-wise, basically, the reason why we went through the entire Strawberry Battlefield, which was the previous area, was to collect those green tungsten to be able to make a tracker to track down Hessonite, who is the main antagonist of the game. And so we did all of that and tracked her to here, and now she is going back to Strawberry Battlefield. Why? We don't know. I have no clue. Like, I'm going to be super surprised. I've never played this game before. Seriously, I'm super confused. Like, I have no clue why Hessonite went back to Strawberry Battlefield.
Nicely done.
It's a joke, I do know, actually. Ha, gotcha. I do enjoy giving a good bamboozle. So yeah, there is now a big old pyramid in the crater. And so we enter the next area of the game. So yeah, like the, you know, Beach City, the woods, the Great North, Strawberry Battlefield, that's like the, like, overarching area. Then you have these little areas. Like, that was the Temple Crater. Ruined Ruins was the area previous to that. And down here, we also do not do anything except the boss fight. So it's basically just a lot of movements.
Wow.
However, the second part, not Team Connie coming up, but Team Pearl, we get to do a pretty cool skip, and we have to use Pearl for that. Now, it's a skip that I discovered, and I have mixed feelings about it, because Pearl is my favorite character of Steven Universe. Should be kind of obvious with my alerts. Those are all Pearl's voice that you've been hearing. My plush, one of my emotes, my love emote is a Pearl. I have this, fuck, what's it called? Pack-on or something? Pin, that's what it is, a pin. That's Pearl's gem. But in discovering that glitch, I took out the only fight in the entire game where it was required for you to use Pearl. For every category too, by the way.
Oh, look.
So it's like, because of me, Pearl is on the screen for less time, but we end up saving time in the speedrun, so, you know, how am I supposed to feel about that? I don't know. And in a classic RPG fashion, when you meet the final character of the game, or the final boss, before you're meant to fight them, they do a little party wipe because, you know, they're so powerful. Fun fact, in the any percent category, all we do is Beach City, we go to the woods, we skip the first boss, and then we go directly to the boss, thanks to some glitches that we have. That category is under half an hour long.
Ugh.
It is also super RNG heavy. There is a lot of resetting that goes on. I have never gotten over that far before. Interesting. Yeah, we do that to basically skip a little bit of like loading time. And we get an ancient thingamajig. Quite literally called the ancient thingamajig. I'm not just memeing. And so for this area, we have to grab 2 of these, open that big door in the back there. And they're labeled here in this main room. Tells you like which way to go for them. The other 2 ways we don't have to worry about except for 1 or 1%. All the other categories, they're just trying to get out of here as quick as they can. So coming up, we're going to see a stabby ghost enemy. And interestingly enough, the way that Peridot, Pearl, and Greg's hitboxes work, and the collision with the knife, if you're moving at an upwards diagonal, the enemy does not stab you. Like that. Otherwise, you get into a fight. Try stab, diagonal, no fight. Move down here at the bottom so we don't get hit by the spikes. If I go into this portal directly, the characters will hover over the exit point. But if you take some damage and go through it, you just immediately teleport. Doing that saves like about 8 seconds just because this game was programmed weirdly. This game is fairly buggy. I mean, it might not be too obvious in the glitchless category, but there's lots of stuff that helps us, and then there's plenty of things that don't help us. There are a couple places where you can end up soft locking and lose a run, but they don't happen too often. Again here, the cool thing here is that Peridot happens to move fast enough, and these portals have a large enough hitbox where as long as you just put your control stick in the direction of the portal you want to go through, you'll be able to reach it. And you don't have to do the little puzzle there where you have to move the metal blocks. And we determined that that's okay to do in Glitchless. Kind of related, the Glitchless category of any game is usually arbitrary. There's no like universal definition that people use. So more or less, every community sort of gets to decide like what they consider Glitchless for a category. So, in the case of here, basically that's me and one other person. We're basically the only active runners. Oh yeah, this can still PB. This can actually reach my goal of being a sub 130. So, out of everyone here, Pearl's the fastest, so we'll be controlling her for the most part. Interestingly enough, Pearl and Connie have the same speed. That's something I did a long time ago. I timed everyone's movement. And it goes Peridot, and then Pearl and Connie are even, and then Garnet, and then Amethyst, and then Greg, and then Steven. We used to think that Greg and Steven were the fastest until I timed them at a larger distance, and Greg is actually like very slightly faster than Steven. Okay, so that's Pearl Skip. Did it a little bit slow, but I'll explain it in a moment. Okay, so basically what happened there is, if I would have thrown the spear as Pearl and just stayed there, that stabby enemy would have been aggroed onto me, which is bad. However, that spot behind the rubble, that enemy does not have like an aggro range, so it won't try to attack you. Basically what we did is we had Greg go behind there, we had Pearl throw her spear, we switched back to Greg while the spear was in the air, so during that little cutscene, since we were controlling Greg, we do not get stabbed because the enemy does not have aggro. Then afterwards we switch back to Pearl and leave the area. So it's like that fight like isn't required in a way because it like has a like key item on it or anything like that. But basically the way they set up that particular room makes so it is required. But with that little skip, we don't have to do the fight. And so between not doing the fight and like not leveling up the characters or like, getting other badges, because you are a little bit under-leveled in this area. Like by the time you leave Strawberry Battlefield in the speedrun, you're like under-leveled compared to like the enemies by a pretty good deal. So yeah, the fights were kind of crappy, but now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Thanks to Pearl. And like I said, we're moving at an upwards diagonal during that time. Like if I were controlling Amethyst there, we would have gotten hit. So it's also convenient that the fastest person in the party is also the one that doesn't get stabbed. And now this area here is also quite a bit of downtime. Basically, we're just going to be running into these big light obelisks, and they're going to give you like a little bit of background on Hessonite and the Prism. It's pretty boring for a speedrun. It's like very straightforward for about 2 minutes.
Wow.
But it's really nice in marathons because like this is a perfect opportunity where I can be like, okay, host, you can go ahead and read donations or make an announcement.
Oh, man.
And then I can kind of just like
Wow.
sit back, relax, and let them do that. And also give my voice a little bit of a break since I'd be like more or less talking constantly. Yeah, well, also a Team Connie, but Team Connie was pretty swift as well. Yeah, only a second with all of that. So yeah,
Mom?
we'll hopefully get good RNG on the boss coming up, which is the Light Warrior. And then after that, we go into the Forge, which we were there a lot earlier. That's where we upgraded Steven's weapon. And that area has like a whole area behind it. Kind of like how the pyramid has like this big old area we've been running around in. The Forge has a bunch, but that's the last area. That's also where we do the big sequence break, which is why 80% is less than half an hour. And the thing is, there also aren't any bosses. It's basically a gauntlet, like you just fight a couple of really strong enemies, but none of them are technically bosses. So all bosses gets to skip going back to the Forge entirely. Glitchless though, we have to do those 3 fights before we can move on to the conclusion. The Spectral Conclusion and Hessonite. You do like 2 bosses back to back. You have to fight the Pyramid, our friend, and then... sorry, the Prism. And then you have to fight Hessonite, the final boss.
Steven!
Oh yeah, Garnet is a permafusion made of 2 gems, by the way. So we have Garnet back.
Oh man!
All right.
Hey, hey.
So this area, the depths, we're basically trying to get to that exit way back there at the end. There's like other stuff around too, but except for 101%, no category that comes through here has to worry about everything off to the side. Move this one through there. Some nice fluid movements. That should be fine. Yeah, awesome. Solid. That might actually be a gold. I think that should be a gold.
There must be some kind
Oh yeah.
of glitch in the
That was like an
holographic
11-second gold. I guess a pog from me. Alright, so here we're getting a level up charm, putting it onto Connie, and then 2 thoughtful gifts, and then a badge and some leveling up. So this is like a big menuing area right here.
Ooh, I know. One thingy coming right up.
It's time.
So first up, level up Steven.
Video games! I feel so upgraded.
We don't level up Paradox because we don't actually use her in the fights, but we are going to level up Connie. And then we level up Garnet a bit.
Love is all you need. Check this out, Steven.
And then we have a badge we put on to Garnet.
Cool.
Oh,
I'll take it.
messed that up a little bit. Well, yeah, this is pretty good. That is a nice goal to get. The PB does not have that like rerouting that we did also. So the depths for until I get my next PB is always going to have basically a pretty free, like a pretty decently chunk time save. Yeah, we will be defeating this enemy, this boss, believe it or not, in one hit. And let me show you just how we do it.
By Jove.
Ready?
So we have a study, Steven playing his ukulele. It's going to heal, but that's okay. We're going to put on a star fruit and then do our attack.
I've got just the maybe this.
And we need at least like one lucky hit from Connie to be able to one-shot. But I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, it is. Awesome. Definitely useful after the bit of mismenuing there.
Oh no! Huh?
But yeah, we are doing good. Doing fantastically.
Oh no! Oh man. What?
Let's go.
Demon! Look what I fired!
Got everything I needed. Okay. Yeah, pretty much at this point of the run, we're looking at RNG from the fights and the bosses.
Never fear. The great and lovable paradise.
Being that this is like a turn-based RNG, that's kind of what it does come down to a lot of the time, is just, do you get the good RNG? Save time. Do you get bad RNG? You lose time. Though there is also like overworld, like the movement and stuff, but you know, once you get good at the game, like I have, it basically just becomes like an RNG grind fest. But it also makes it fun because it kind of feels like, you know, like you're used to what you're doing because you do it so often.
Steven, we're just like the heroes in your...
So it makes it pretty nice and fun to just like hang out with the chat, do runs. And because so much of it is RNG based, you kind of like just go into it kind of expecting something to go wrong at some point that's not in your control. Which is also why I don't really get like tilted much when I speedrun. Like every once in a while some bullshit might happen and I'll get annoyed. I do think that's a lot more difficult though when it comes to like games that are more on you, like a lot more like movement based, like you know, based on you and stuff. Ooh, that one was a bit... yeah, so Steven also has a hitbox for some reason, even when you're not controlling him, and some enemies are able to hit it, and that stabby sword enemy guy is one of them, and it's such a pain in the ass. Grab 2 more thoughtful gifts here. And good, that stabby enemy didn't bother us. So now we're in the clear. Much like the other areas, we're just running to get to those fights. There's not really anything that we grab here, aside from those thoughtful gifts. In the next area, there's nothing that we grab. We're just running through the workshop here, then we're going to run through the Uncharted Depths. Then the last area, Hail to the Heart, that is where we do our fights.
Ready when you guys are.
There must be some kind of glitch in the holographic image.
Yeah, and I'm just going to casually gold that too, I guess.
Never fear. The great and lovable paradise.
Well, at the very least, if this run does end up dying, at least I push my summit best down at least by 4 seconds. Uh-oh, do not... If I lost to that, I would be angry. But we didn't, so we're good. Do a little jumperino there. Heck. That doesn't really matter though, because we're going to be swapping Peridot out for Greg, so her like having damage is like 100% irrelevant. Doesn't mean I'm basically going to lose like that 2 seconds I just gained though. Dun 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 dun.
Steven, look at this place. I've got just the thing.
And our last level of charm we use on Greg.
Not too shabby.
Oh, wow.
And we have another badge that we grab.
Not every day you get to collect treasure.
And for Greg, give him 1 level up. Put his stuff in his star jam. Or his leadership, rather.
This'll make me one rad dad.
Oh, I put them in here somewhere. I've got just the thing. Do your dang thing. Cheeseburger backpack. This'll do the trick.
And we're going to use
I know.
these on them.
Ready for action.
Hit this guy. And fight time.
I feel a jam session coming on.
Coming right up.
Ready?
And we're just going to interrupt that and attack.
Bonnie, you're amazing.
And get a little bit of kudos that we don't need. That was a bit of a low attack on that Sword Storm, unfortunately. Otherwise, normally, you don't need like any studies to be able to kill them in one shot. There we go, we got lucky, so we'll be good. And I think, does Connie level up in this fight or no? No.
Check this out, Steve.
Oh great, I can actually see Connie. There we go.
I've got just the thing. This'll do the trick.
This fight's a little more straightforward, though it can be a little bit spooky. These wizards can suck. But yeah, here we go. Next fight.
This one's just a tribute.
One thingy coming right up.
Oh, that is excellent. I love that. Then we attack this guy.
By Jove.
Ready?
Fuck, I think that was the wrong one. That's fine.
Ready?
I will have to use a star fruit, which I don't want to, but it is what it is. That's the second fight. We lost a little bit of time, but we're still good. And now we have one more fight to do. And this one is the one that sucks the most.
I feel a jam session coming on.
Ready?
Let's hope we get good fight RNG here. Okay, interesting.
Ready?
Alright, so one guy taken down. Okay, Garnet, that's a good one. Greg sucks.
Time for some tunes.
I know I put an eye somewhere. How about this?
Ready?
This is going to make for a bit of a slow fight, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing I can really do to control how enemies get aggroed here.
Ready.
Yeah, we have Connie's going to study 1, so we're going to put this defense debuff. Then we're going to wait for this to fill up and then do their team attack, and that'll be enough to take them out. Like so. And very conveniently, everyone levels up here, so they'll be at full health for the last fight.
My training paid off.
And that is Hail to the Heart. Just have to go through these doors, there'll be a little cutscene, some enemies will pop up, but we don't have to fight those enemies. Only 1% fight these enemies. Because they'll make a chest appear that has a key in it to get to the secret area of of Bismuth's Forge. Well, yeah, irrelevant basically for Glitchless.
Oh no!
And there they are.
Oh man!
I jumped a little bit too early there. Probably have to throw on a donut before we do the fight. Yeah, keeping close to that gold too, which is nice.
I'm so proud of us.
So yeah, we basically have like
Here we are.
2 minutes would be 1:30:58. So yeah, we have about 2 minutes to play with here. So very, very high chance of PBing here unless we get like absolute trash RNG. Which going back to what I said before, I've been getting like increments of about 30-second PBs, so I'm kind of not expecting this to take off. I mean, if it does, it does. That'd be great. But yeah.
Yay!
Also, hi, Celine. Welcome back from thine lurking.
We're just getting started.
So yeah, we need to do thoughtful gifts and a donut on the Conster. That's my nickname for Connie. Ooh, okay.
All right.
Let's do this.
Here we go.
We got a little bit of temple jumping we're going to do here to get up here. Basically, we can jump around on the hairs of the statue instead of going up the normal way. Saves us about 12 seconds.
We can't stop now.
Yes, the Conster, as opposed to the Proster.
Stick together, team.
One thingy.
And since we
coming
use
right
a team attack, they need
Guys,
all 3 gifts.
How about this? I know I put it in here somewhere. How about this? Cheeseburger backpack.
It's time.
This'll do the trick.
Connie the Conster, official con woman of the DK group. But yeah, like also a good deal of the time save will also come on Hessenite. My PB has like a great special conclusion, and then Hessenite kind of dicked me around a bit.
The day we...
Why?
Hessenite.
Don't you? You're a... Well, he's a...
You see, I think.
Alright, here we go. Pray for me, everyone.
This one's just a tribute.
Do your thing. Little light reading.
Alright, we're off to a good start.
Ready?
And then a defense debuff. Blue means it's going to play tennis with us. Alright, good. It attacked Steven once before, and it, like, killed a run. Now, if it's, like, blue again, that would be freaking amazing. Oh!
Ready?
Oh! Oh! The RNG. Sexy. Going for Greg. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. If it's blue again, I'm gonna die. Green?
Little light reading.
Ready?
Take that. Beautiful Light Warrior. Not the quickest it could be, but we did do it safe. Okay, Hessenite, please give me good RNG. Alright. As long as I play this safe, it should be a PB still. Okay, so let's go.
This one's just a tribute.
Fascinating.
About one thingy coming right up.
Little light reading.
Come on, attack Light Warrior. Fuck Hessenite.
So much for that. Not this too.
Take a look. It's in a book. By Jove.
Come on, attack Light Warrior.
Little light reading. Take a look. It's in a book.
I don't like how she's not attacking or anything.
Little light reading.
Oh, she went for Greg. That's fine, we have a Rose's tier.
Good gravy. How about this tasty number?
Little light reading. Little light reading. Take a look. It's in a book.
What is this garbage RNG though? That's what I want to know.
Steven Universe?
Little light reading.
That's fine. We have our breakfast.
In here somewhere.
Little light reading.
Wow, holy shit.
Let's have a go.
Alright, we have Garnet Taunt. One more and we should be fine. Okay. This should be it.
Ready?
Okay, here comes the little mean PB. Yep. And put down by another 20 seconds. Because Hessenite was an asshole. Low 20, almost 21 second PB.
I knew it was. I love course. You should just.
This is the Soma PB right here.